Yo, what is going on everyone? Silent here, back with another banger. This video is gonna be a complete beginner guide. I'll go over the most important basics of Valorant so you can rank up really quickly. I'll quickly cover all the objectives in Valorant. This may sound really obvious, but your main objective in Valorant is to win the game. And how do you win the games? Well, it kinda depends on what side you're playing on first. Attack or defense. Both for attack and defense, there are two ways you can win a round. Your main objective as an attacker is to take control over any one of the sites and plant the spike. Once a spike is planted, the defender is going to try to take control of the site again. We call this a retake. Your main objective as a defender is to let the enemy team not get onto site. Two main things you should know as a defender is that your life is way more valuable on defense than attack. And if you think you're going to die in defense, it's also fine to give up site and play for retake with your team. This makes it much easier to win a round. In total, you need 13 round wins to win a game and get that sweet elo. Now that we covered all the standard objectives, it's time to go over all the agent roles. My favorite one and the most popular one is a duelist role. Your job as a duelist is to make space for your team to get onto site. How do we do this, you may ask? Well, as a duelist, you have a pretty self-sufficient kit. This means that with your kit, it should be easier to play for picks and take 1v1s. It is your job as a duelist to clear all the common angles and get your team onto site so you can plant the bomb. Now over to the initiators. Initiators are a pretty good support role and they sync really well with the duelist. Your job as an initiator is to help to get your duelist onto site. This can be done by either stunning or flashing where you think the enemy is going to be, or to help get info on the enemy for your duelist. Now that you know what an initiator does, it's time to talk about controllers. Your job as a controller, as the name kind of implies, is to have control over the map. All the controllers have smokes or walls that help you do that. So what you want to do is cut pieces of the bomb site so it's easier for your team to take, and harder for the enemy team to retake, of course. Now for the last role, we have the Sentinels. Sentinels are the best at holding areas on the map. They can stall a fight for a long time and they make pushing hella difficult. As a Sentinel, you usually want to play slow. 9 out of 10 times, you're the last one on site. Your job is to stall pushes and fights for as long as you can, till your team can come and help you. The best tip I can give for new players that want to get good at the game quick is learn a maximum of 2 or 3 agents, get comfortable, and learn the game that way. You'll learn what specific agents do over time by playing the actual game. As long as you know the roles and what agents are in those roles, then you're good. And since you already know what the agent roles do, I'll tell you which agents are in which specific role. So for the duelists, we have Jet, Phoenix, Neon, Raze, Reyna, and Yoru. For the initiators, we have Sova, Breach, Sky, KO, Fade, and Gecko. For the controllers, we have Brimstone, Harbor, Viper, Omen, and Astra. And last but definitely not least, we have Cypher, Sage, Killjoy, and Chamber for the Sentinels. Now that you know all the basics of the game, I kinda wanna tell you something really secret, but you can't tell anyone else. Half of the time, rounds are won in the buy phase. What you want to do in that phase is create a plan with your team to win that specific round. If it doesn't work out, then you know why, and if you won the round, you're one round closer to the victory. Now let's go over to the game itself. Obviously, because Valorant is an FPS game, your aim is really important. Your main focus and the first step on getting good aim is working on crosshair placement. Crosshair placement is aligning your crosshair where you think the enemy's head's gonna be. Now this may seem really simple, but you have to actively think about where your crosshair is. Let's say you heard an enemy above you and you're holding down here. Now, I'll give you 5 seconds to think about this. Am I holding this correctly? Yes or no? The answer is actually yes. Let's see how the clip played out. Because there's different elevations in the game, you have to think on where your crosshair is gonna be. If I held it like this, I would probably be aiming at his feet. Also, if you want perfect radiant aim, check my first video. Credits and buying guns is also a huge part of Valorant. Let's quickly talk about the economy. The first round on each half is always going to be a pistol round. That means every player gets 800 credits to buy shields, abilities, or a better gun, or a combination of any of them. Because you have limited credits, it's always good to communicate with your team and set up a plan. And I can't stress this enough, guys. Please make sure that you know what you're buying and you know what effect it has in the future. In the buy menu in the top left corner, it tells you how many credits you're going to have a minimum in the next round. So please make sure you make smart decisions with your money and communicate with your team on what you're gonna buy. Now, that is it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. As you can see, 97% of you guys are not subscribed. If you made it this far into the video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing, as this helps my channel tremendously.